gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Let's get ready to rumble!
This one by Mattingly. Oh, hang on to the roof. Montana looking, wrong in the end zone. 5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
No. Yes, we are back. It is episode 190. We're getting close to 200. That's pretty sweet. We're live on a Wednesday morning at around 10ish. And of course, as always, if you want to be notified when we go live, hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell so you will be notified whenever we go live. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And you can find this show either on YouTube or wherever podcasts are played. You can also find them on our website, which is www.sportsandsorts.libsyn.com. And I am one of your hosts. My name is Shane Moore.
And I'm the Brian Man.
And if you comment during the show on YouTube, when we are live, we will put it up on the screen. If you comment after the fact, we will probably
Not put it on the screen.
We won't put it on the screen, but we will probably comment to you in regards to your comment.
I like
show.
your outfit today because you remind me of like Garth and Wayne in Wayne's World when they were like doing that whole scene where they were talking about how it's just like so sleazy and to promote stuff shamelessly. You're like shamelessly promoting.
I'm like a NASCAR driver.
You look like a golf course puked. I mean, it's just hilarious. It's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's just so sad, man. People have to sell out. Do you have any Nuprin on you?
No, I'm wearing Adidas too.
Nuprin, little, yellow, different.
I'm wearing Adidas.
You have Adidas too?
I have Adidas, yeah. What else? Adidas shoes. Yeah.
God,
Adidas
you're
pants,
a golf warehouse billboard. It's great.
Yep. Although, I mean, I think these are Ray-Ban. I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. I got my Apple Watch on, Don't
Oh, Jesus.
Tommy John underwear. Yeah. So
Really?
Anything else? Anything else we gotta talk? We gotta.
No underwear. What? I'm home. It's comfortable. Everyone's gone. Melissa and the kids are up in Maine.
Oh, is that this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's now. It's happening now.
Oh, it's right now. Like they're gone.
Yes. Are you coming on Friday or no? Do you know yet?
My wife works this weekend, so I don't know. That'll be a tough one. I'll have to figure this out. So if I can come or not. This is she's got a crazy work. What the heck is going on here? So Damien posted comment. He just posted comment, and I had to put it on the screen. And it said comment, and then he said, "You've been in the Red Sox dugout lately, Shane?" I have not. I don't know what that means. They must be doing lots of advertising.
Are they doing a lot of? Yeah, there are a lot of ads in the. Red
So anyway,
Sox
about this Friday, no, I don't think I'm going to be able to, and there's like a small window that I probably be able to come, but I'm not sure yet. So because I have my kids are sleeping over their grandparents Thursday into Friday. Originally, it was supposed to be Friday into Saturday.
Oh, Apple Watch. I get it. Good one.
So originally it was supposed to be Friday into Saturday, and then it got moved to Thursday into Friday, and then I have to go pick them up in the afternoon in Waterford, and then bring them back. And my wife gets home and she's working all weekend, which stinks. So that's it. Things got
anytime after 4 on Friday if you want.
All right, I will see what I can do. I can see if I can work it. See if I can swing it.
All right.
With my Apple Watch and getting all that. Yeah. All right, so we are going to be kind of winging it today. Usually we have our any list, which we connect back and forth with. But the show was, I played golf on Monday, and then Tuesday came around, and Brian was busy, and then Wednesday. So we figured out we could do it on Wednesday. But you know what? There's a lot of stuff that's been going on, and we can easily wing this. I think we can wing it. We can Buffalo Wild wing it. Tommy like wingy, and he likes to wing it. So we're gonna do So we're gonna do that. We are gonna be talking LeBron, probably AD to the Lakers. We're gonna talk about Brooks Koepka and his showdown with Wooodland at the U.S. Open, which was phenomenal. That was a great. I watched all 4 days of that event, not continuously, obviously, but I watched Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, a good portion each day. And it was a fun watch the whole weekend. And then we can also talk about the Yankees. The Yankees' embarrassment of riches going forward because Stanton's coming back. He's back. And he's in midseason shape. The Brian Man's midseason form where he's striking out on that slider away. And then...
It's ridiculous.
And then, of course... Judge most likely coming back next week. They just got Encarnacion. They had to send Frazier down. Frazier started wiping his Twitter account. Got those feelings everywhere. He's got so many feelings. He's like so up and down emotionally, and it's very strange.
And I will tell you why that's ironic.
And so we were going to get into all of that because we got a great show. So let's go.
You are listening to Sports and Soul.
Great
Shane and the Bry Man.
Unplanned show that was discussed 2 minutes before we went live. All right, so we will let's just start off right off the bat. Lakers. I went bat and then I went to Lakers. So we're gonna go right off at the Lakers. Let's talk LeBron and Anthony Davis teaming up. I had said, we had texted last week when this information got known, and I was like, holy crap. That is huge. And you laughed at me. And then I said, I think this team is now likely to get to the finals. And then you laughed at me again and said, boy, when you double down, you double down. and I said, I still don't think they're done. And then,
of course they're not done.
And just before the show, you said to me that they were looking like they were trying to free up space for a max contract. So let's get into that. Go ahead. What do you have to say about this thing, and why is it so hilarious?
Because here's the problem that I had. You did trade away some you knew you were going to have to trade away pieces to get this guy, right? So you lost Ingram and you lost Lonzo Ball, which I don't know. In some ways, I think Lonzo Ball could be considered addition by subtraction just because of his damn dad.
And Ingram, as many steps forward as he took over the last couple seasons, he is proven to not be the guy.
But here's what concerns me about the Lakers is that they could be a very even if they create space for another max contract, which they are doing because I think they've gotten rid of a couple of guys. What you have to understand here, though, is that although there is quality, you have LeBron and Anthony Davis, who are two of the top 5 players in the league. I would probably say if I had to work it out, I would say LeBron is 1 or 2, and Davis is probably 5. So you have 2 of the top. At the worst, you have 2 of the top 10 players.
Yes.
In your starting lineup, without a doubt.
Yes.
But what worries me is what you have after that, because you're trading all of these guys, and now what you're going to start to lack is bench depth, because this team is really, really going to hurt. And I think the Raptors, and I think even the Warriors have shown you over the past few years, bench depth is extremely important in the NBA. You got 11 guys on the team, and oftentimes you need to go to the end of that bench in order to get it done. Guys have to step up. And I'm just worried about how thin the Lakers are going to be. All right, let's say they are able to fit another max contract. Well, here's the other thing about that too. Who's that guy going to be with that max contract? It's not going to be Kyrie Irving. He's pretty much already going to the Nets. That's like almost a done deal from what I understand. It's not going to be Kevin Durant. I don't think Kevin Durant is going there. It's not going to be Kawhi, because I think Kawhi is going to LA, but into the other side of the clubhouse. I think he's going to be in the other locker room.
Who's that?
The Clippers. Kawhi. I think Kawhi's
Kawhi.
Clippers. Or if he doesn't go to the Clippers, I think he's staying in Toronto. So I don't see him teaming with LeBron.
Right.
So who's this third guy going to be?
I think it's going to be, there's one of a couple players. I think one is either going to be Kemba Walker. Two is going to be Jimmy Butler.
I would, if that was me, I would go Kemba. And then if they got Kemba,
but he's a scorer. Like Jimmy Butler will play defense. That's the only issue, is that you need, like Anthony Davis is good.
I like Kemba's makeup better though, but I understand.
Oh yeah, I mean he is a fierce competitor, and so is Jimmy Butler. But Jimmy Butler is, he's not. I think Jimmy Butler would have an easier time being the third guy, because I think he really just wants to win. Where I think it would be tougher for Kemba, like, because he's a really good offensive player, but he's not known as the great defensive player. From what I would like know.
Kemba as a better fit with that team too, because I would just like him being the facilitator for guys like LeBron and Anthony Davis. I think that would work.
Well, we've been saying that forever with LeBron, and even last year I thought maybe with Lonzo Ball taking over the point, and it's still, LeBron still likes having the ball in his hands. That's the other issue, is that if he's bringing up the ball, you need those two guys. Like you would, and I just imagine having Jimmy Butler out on the wing and then having Anthony Davis on the block, and then LeBron bringing up the ball. Like,
so let's just say, all right, so let's get back on track. Let's say they get either Butler or they get Kemba. Okay, fine. All right, so that's quite a big three that you have there.
Yeah.
But you've still got to fill out the rest of this roster, and they are going to have to hope that guys will take veteran minimums. That's going to be their hope, because you got to have guys who are thirsty for championships.
Which I don't think LeBron has had much luck with. A lot of these other teams, like, obviously Golden State Warriors and things like that, they've had some luck with, these big-time players like Boogie Cousins and stuff like that, who was coming off an injury, of course, but taking a lot less money than you thought they were going to get.
Yeah. I don't know how easy that's going to be for the Lakers to recruit that. And, here's the other problem, too. I think the path to a championship for them is getting veterans who are willing to take very short 1-year deals at a league minimum to try and chase a ring, because I don't like the long-term viability of this at all for the Lakers. For starters, let's start right at the top. LeBron has maybe 2-3 years left. Mm-hmm. If the Lakers have the shortest window I think I've ever seen here, that's one of the other problems, because there is absolutely zero guarantee that Anthony Davis is staying there. None whatsoever.
Oh, yeah.
He's already said, I'm entering free agency no matter what.
Right.
He is good. Now, maybe the Lakers do re-sign him. That's all well and good. Mm-hmm. But he's entering free agency no matter what. He is going to test the waters once he is out of the current contract that he's in. He's going out there to test those waters. Sure. And I don't blame him. I would test the waters too if I were him. So this has such a short window, because I think if you had guys who were coming in from the outside, they would also look at it and say, this is probably a short-term thing. I've got to try and strike while the iron is hot, see if I can get a championship with this team. Mm-hmm. Think of, you need a handful of Andre Iguodala's to kind of come and say, all right, I'll take the minimum for a year. I've done a lot in the league. I've won some money. I mean, I've gotten a lot of money, but I haven't won a championship, and that's what I need. That's what I need to fill out my career. And I think that could work, but a lot of things have to fall right for the Lakers. A lot. And again, I still want to see who they're going to get with that third max contract that they're going to have. I don't know. It's a good look. Listen, I mean, if you're the Lakers, do you have to make the trade? Yeah, you probably do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There are a lot of players available too.
Because it will certainly attract another. It probably will attract another max contract. That could attract Kemba. But I don't know, man. I still think the Lakers have a ton of work to do. I mean, right now, as this stands, on its merits, this is clearly not enough. I mean, the Warriors, even without Durant, and I don't know where Durant's going to go. And for the immediate purposes of next year, where Durant goes probably won't matter anyway, because he's probably not going to play next year. And if he does, it'll be late in the year. So I think getting off the Lakers for a second, I think the funniest thing in all of this is just how cursed really, truly are the New York Knicks. Because the Knicks, if you believe James Dolan in an interview that he had on the Michael Kay show about a month or so back, he basically said, without tampering, we already know there are a couple of guys coming here. We know it. Well, who are those guys, James? Because now Kevin Durant, even if he comes back and even if he signs with you, is probably not playing next year. And if he does, it would not be till the very end of the year.
Yeah.
Two, you're not getting Kyrie Irving because he's going to the Nets. And I don't think you're going to get Kemba because now with maybe Anthony Davis going to L.A., that might be more attractive to him. That should be more attractive to him than going to New York. The Knicks are cursed. It started when they didn't get the number 1 pick, and now and then the Durant injury. It was so funny. I would argue that more hearts sank in New York than in Oakland when Durant went down that second time. I really would. In fact, if you looked at the New York newspapers, the Post and the Daily News, they would have had you believe in the same thing as if Durant was already on the team. So it's pretty funny that the Knicks are, and I tell you, I do think that there is a domino effect of Anthony Davis going to LA because I do think that could also hurt the Knicks. So the Knicks, man, wow, what a disaster that team is. And look, the problem is it starts at maybe they are a little snake bitten, but it also does start at the top with Dolan. Yeah. But the problem is you can't fire the owner. So.
Yeah, there are a lot of players that are going to be available this year obviously they're going to have to take less money, but you have like Patrick Beverley, just going off the top, right off the top of the list, Trevor Ariza is going to be available, Patrick Beverley. These are all good players that are good defensive players that are good secondary players.
Good players, secondary players.
Yeah, you have Tyson Chandler, who is a good backup would be a great backup, or in addition to with Anthony Davis. Sure. There's just a lot of good players available. I mean, even if you're looking for a sharpshooter, he's not quite as good as his brother, but Seth Curry is going to be available. That's another one that's out there. I mean, there are a lot of players that are going to be available, for this coming season. Rudy Gay, he's available. I mean, there's just a lot of good. Danny Green, Danny Green's available again. I mean, there's and then obviously there's another issue too, is that I'm just hoping that the Lakers aren't being dumb with their freeing up a max spot and are going to, they can't really do it because they don't really have much to give anymore. But I could see it being kind of a money deal. I'm hoping that they don't try and trade for CP3. Because CP3 and Harden have fallen out. And
I saw that.
And
I saw that on Instagram of all places. And then CP3 actually was like one of the first guys to comment. He's like, "This is news to me."
Yeah.
Which was funny.
He fights with everybody. That's the problem. So I don't know what's going to happen. And I wouldn't be surprised because this would be the third time something like that happened with him.
I would stay away from him too.
So, and it's fun. I mean, obviously him and LeBron James are good buddies and they're good friends and everything, but it's just, I don't think it's a good fit. At this age.
Chase Kemba.
Yeah, if you want a point guard, you're going to have to go with that. I would still just let LeBron James be LeBron James. You look at his numbers last year when he played, and he was not healthy, and he was still putting up his career numbers. He was putting up 27, 8 and 8, which is actually a little better than his career. Because he's a 27 point scorer, but his career is 7 and 7, and he was 8 and 8 last year. So he was putting up big numbers still, and I think that his injury taking a break was more based on they just didn't have the chance to really make a push in the playoffs or really get to the playoffs after his injury. I do believe was real, but I don't think they rushed him back because they just did not have the team together to put it down. So it'll be very interesting to see how all that plays out. I think that they're going to be in good shape. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I was considering, I still am, of putting some money down on the Lakers for next year.
Well, what are the current odds?
I don't know. I would have to look into it. So I have to look into it because obviously things are going to change.
Actually, I don't think they're something that would favor you very well. In fact, if I did hear correctly, the odds.
I'm sure they skyrocketed after they got Anthony Davis.
Yeah, no, they did, but I want to say that they're like. They might even be favorites, which I thought was kind of laughable. I don't know, man. Take a look because I think when I was watching the Michael K show the other day, I want to say that they might be the odds-on favorites right now, which is ridiculous. But that might just also be because Vegas is, leery of too many bets being placed.
Wow.
Am I right? Are they like 3-1 or?
I think almost 4-1.
Yeah, so like that's really is that the high? Is that the best?
Yeah,
or is there?
Yeah, that's over the Bucks. That's over the Raptors. Over the Rockets. Over the Warriors. The Warriors.
See, that's ridiculous to me. I wouldn't even. I mean, what's? Why would?
Wow. I can't believe the Raptors are still.
I mean, what? Maybe you put $100 down and. But so what?
That's ridiculous.
So what if you walk away with 400?
Well, no, I wouldn't if it's that. I mean, I'm shocked that it'd be that would be that high because I wouldn't think that they would be the favorite. Yeah, you have to put down $300 to win a buck. I mean, to win I think to win 100.
Right, it's
3-1.
Is that how it works? Oh,
think
okay.
so.
So yeah, I'm not good with that.
Well, because one of them said 390 to win 100, and this one says 300.
Yeah, see that. I wouldn't do that because I don't think they're going to win next year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, are they absolutely a playoff team now? Yes, without a doubt. Are they a home playoff team? Probably. Probably even in the very competitive West. Mm-hmm. Because I think Houston will be a little diminished because Paul will probably be gone. Golden State will be diminished regardless because Durant will be gone. And I don't really know, like the Spurs will be a little better because DeJounte Murray will be back, and I'm excited about that. But the Spurs will probably also lose a guy like Rudy Gay. Not that Rudy Gay is irreplaceable. Right. But, you'll have if you're the Spurs, you'll have DeRozan, Murray, and you'll have LaMarcus Aldridge to build around next year.
Right now, Lakers are just very overhyped. I was surprised that was.
Well, they got two guys, and that's what kind of worries me. And yes, that's a good point, Clint. I think Portland is also in the mix. Absolutely,
love my boy D. Lil.
Absolutely, I mean, you should not discount a team that was in the Western Conference Finals.
C.J. McCollum.
So
or
they're
as they
there.
like to refer to him, C.J. McKillum.
That's
killing them. All right, so let's move on. Let's get out of this and get into another topic. I want to briefly talk about this. And I didn't do the basketball sounds all right, so now you got that.
There you go. Thanks.
But I will.
It's a little tease.
Yes, I will do this.
Get in the hole!
Baba Booey!
I was waiting for you. There you go. Thanks, man. That's always done live. He always does the Baba Booey live. I was hearing all sorts of great stuff. So Kuchar, who I don't really care for.
The cheap guy, right?
Yeah, the cheap guy.
Bad tipper.
Yeah, bad tipper. Whenever you leave a bad tip, it's called the cooch.
Wait
now.
on his table at a restaurant.
It's called the cooch whenever you leave a bad tip.
Cooch, yeah, right.
You got cooched.
That's terrible.
He was wearing corduroys all weekend, and I heard multiple times when he hit
hot?
It was cold.
Oh, was it? Okay.
It was cold out, yeah. So he was wearing they were all wearing sleeves and long pants. Obviously, they can wear long pants. So he was wearing corduroys, and he was every once in a while when he teed off, you'd hear corduroy. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, people just say stuff to say stuff now, but it was hilarious.
I want to be on TV.
Yeah, I think that was hilarious. But so anyway, Brooks Koepka and Wooodland. So they were in the second to last group and the last group. And, Wooodland and Rose were playing together. Rose kind of really dropped the ball. He was having a hard time striking the ball. His putts weren't falling on the last day. So his chances kind of dwindled pretty quickly. And Brooks Koepka went and played like a man on fire. He came out, he was, lighting up birdies like crazy. And then as it went on, he kind of cooled off a little bit, but then, really hit some good shots towards the end to really put some pressure on.
The guy is competitive in every major tournament.
Right. And so
he's there at every tournament.
and this is something that, I do from time to time.
When was the last one he wasn't competitive in?
But I am, ever since, originally we were, was it 2 years ago? 2 to 3 years ago when he won his first U.S. Open. We were like, who? Brooks, who?
And he bored you to death.
We did the whole Guardians of the Galaxy thing. I'm Star-Lord. Who? Like, I'm Brooks Koepka. Who are you? And, you know, he was a very boring guy. Even the second U.S. Open that he won, still very boring. Didn't really talk, didn't really show any emotion, just kind of was like going about his day. Like it was any other, like he was hungover on a weekend course that he was playing best ball, you know, with some foursome that he didn't really want to be there with. That's what he looked like when he was playing.
Yeah.
Oh, since he's won after that second U.S. Open, and then he came and won another one. He got his third major.
Yeah.
Then he started showing some emotion, and he started loosening up a little bit. And I'm just following him a lot more, and him in general. And after watching him this past weekend, you know, from start to finish, basically, I'm starting to like him. I'm starting to come around on Brooks Koepka. Well, because of how dominant he is. That's always a huge factor for anybody.
Well, you're an embrace the greatness guy. So.
I'm embrace the greatness, but I'm not gonna embrace him if he's boring as can be. And you know what? He all weekend he was throwing some fist pumps, smiling, waving to the crowd, you know, all that kind of stuff. He's showing more of his personality. And like I saw the interview with him afterwards.
Maybe he listened to you.
When I was I think it was, so that's the problem. I think it just wasn't me. I think a PR team got to him and was like, dude, you need to loosen up a little bit. You need to start smiling occasionally. You're a good looking dude. You're built like a freaking ox. Like, get out there, show your skill set, but also don't be afraid to smile and don't be afraid to give a fist pump, you know.
Don't be afraid to kiss your hot girlfriend when she wants a kiss on the way to the nest.
Like, just be you. Like, don't just shut down. Like, I understand some people like to just be focused the whole time and not really show any emotion, just really focus. But the problem is it's tough to embrace those guys. So he's kind of done that, and he still played really well. And, you know, but I was also really enjoying, and I really wanted Wooodland to win overall because of just the way that he kind of came through, and he was leading pretty much the whole way, and he was playing so darn well, and he has a similar look to Brooks Koepka. Like, he's not quite as fit, but he's a big guy, and you know, but he was like throwing some serious fist pumps out there and stuff like that when he would make a big shot. And that last one, when he drained that long putt for birdie to just say, nope, there's not even any chance that Brooks is going to sneak in here. There's no way I'm going to 3-putt or 4-putt or whatever he had to do. I am just going to put this in the back of the cup. And he did. And it was so incredibly awesome. He cheered, he had a big fist pump, turned around, look at the crowd. You know, it was just amazing. The whole thing was great. And then I really enjoyed Brooks Koepka's afterwards.
And he's a good player, Gary.
He's a very good player. So, and he's one of the guys that's kind of come on late in life. Like, I mean, I think he's in his mid-30s.
Yeah.
So,
but you see his name a lot too.
Of late, he's especially of late. And this isn't his first win. I think it's his fourth. So I mean, he's won some tournaments.
I'll tell you though, man, Koepka, again, just going back to every major, he's just there. Mm-hmm.
I loved his
2 second place finishes in a row now.
Post tournament little talk that he had. They were talking with him, they interviewed him afterwards, and he was like, he's like, I really tried to do this and that and really put some pressure on, but, you know, he just played like a champ. He was out there. He was destroyed. It couldn't happen to a better guy, like all that kind of stuff. He said all the right things. It was good to hear his personality. Good to hear like him just actually talk and not be like a robot.
The Wooodland performance kind of reminded me a little of what was the major that Molinari won last year when he was just, you know, he just could not be chased down. Every time he was challenged, he just kept hitting big shot after big shot. He was just so consistent. He hitting the ball down the fairway, and he was draining putts. And I don't know, was it a PGA? I'm not sure. I'm not sure which.
Might have been the PGA or the British, I think.
Maybe maybe. But I just remember that was kind of what it reminded me of in terms of the chase, because Molinari, you can't, like, at some point in that, because you'd not really heard of him up until then, and now Molinari is kind of a staple. But you really hadn't heard of him.
It's a Mario.
He's a good golfer, though, man.
He is. He's a really good ball striker.
He's very, I think the word I've used with my brother is he seems to be very unflappable, too. Like, he just doesn't, you know, I mean, he did collapse at the Masters. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of guys started collapsing at the Masters once Tiger started to show that he was Tiger again.
Yeah.
But but not out of intimidation. I think it just sort of happened that way because the sports gods deemed it so. But Molinari, the Woodland performance reminded me a little bit of him in that sense because he just refused to. He was not going to give in, like you said. He was not going to lose that tournament, and he just kept hitting big shot after big shot, regardless of what Koepka was doing.
Yeah.
So it was an impressive performance. I'm happy for him. It's another lost opportunity for Phil. I mean, every year that goes by,
he's 49.
It's going to just really get harder.
He's getting to the point where like he really only has a chance to win at like the Masters. And the PGA, like those, and the PGA has to be at a course that really favors it because he's still. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's still really good. He's just because he's had to like try and keep up with the young guys.
Yeah, well, on Friday he had
so much more inconsistent.
He made a nice run on Friday and then collapsed on like the back nine.
Well, didn't he end with like a triple bogey on Friday?
Yes,
like,
yeah,
that. Like it's like
it was, and that did it.
I mean, and that happened to a lot. I mean, did you see Ian Poulter get his 8? Did you see that? He was on the top.
That's like me on a hole.
So yeah, well, so the U.S. Open is one of those. Even the British Open. Those are two courses, two tournaments that if you are a bad golfer, you need to watch because they hit a lot of good shots, but they hit a ton of horrible shots because the rough and all this stuff that they hit out of and the wind and all, it is incredibly difficult. The putts that they miss, just like you're like he just missed like a 2-foot putt because the breaks are so crazy. So
Phil missed a 2-footer, right?
I mean that's kind of typical for Phil.
Yeah,
he does that from time to time. He's just a very inconsistent putter. He's always been. But you have Ian Poulter. He was sitting on he had a shot that was on a bunker, but it wasn't on the bunker. It was on the lip. And then there was a nasty, like, fescue kind of grassy weed stuff that was there, and he had to hit it. So it was like he had to hit up on it, but the lip was kind of curved over, so it was going to be tough to actually get to the ball. Like if he chunked it at all, he wasn't even going to get to the ball. Yeah, and he had a weird stance where he was facing the pin, and the ball was over on his right side, and he had to like turn and hit that way. And the first one completely chunked it, didn't even budge the ball. There's a stroke. Then he did it again, and it went like 6 inches into the hard rough, and then he did a bad chip, and then it was like a missed putt, and it just kept on going. And like you're like, oh my god, like that's me. That's me
on the golf course.
That is brutal, and
like Billy Madison that thing.
It was pretty bad. So
Paul didn't want to go to its home.
Yeah, Happy Gilmore. It's
Happy Gilmore. Did I say Billy Madison?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Thanks.
Who would you rather? Who would you rather? Jack Nicholson now or Jack Nicholson 78 or whatever he said? Who would you rather? Jack Nicholson now or Jack Nicholson 1978?
78.
Jack Nicholson. That's great. All right, so we have.
I'm taking One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Jack.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Taking Shining Jack.
Yeah, oof. Here's Johnny.
Did you see the? Oh, we should get into that. Maybe we might be able to get into that later. There was that trailer for the Shining remake.
No,
But it's not called The Shining. It's called what's it called? Doctor. I forgot what it's called. Doctor something.
Weird. All right. Yeah. So So that's pretty much it for the golf going on. The British Open is going to be next. It's going to be I don't even know what's on. But right now we have the Travelers Championship that's happening. It's in our home state. I'm not going to be going to see any of that stuff. I'm actually playing golf Saturday morning, but that's it. I was supposed to play both days. Already signed up. I ended up having to cancel one of the days because Christine ended up working. So I am, kind of scrambling to get everything going. And I'm going to probably watch the tournament on Sunday. That'll probably be it for me. Maybe I might watch a little bit Friday evening, when I get back with the kids. But I don't really have a ton of, because all the tour players that are coming off the U.S. Open, they're all beat, and the ones that aren't are the ones that are going to play well. Because like Phil, he played all 4 days. Spieth played all 4 days. You have all these guys that weren't really in contention, so they might play well. Yeah. And Phil has won this tournament multiple times. Spieth has won this tournament multiple times. I mean, I think even Rory might be there. So it's going to be it should be an eventful tournament. This is one of those that are fun to watch, and there's usually some pretty good scores. But it's not a big just because it follows the U.S. Open, and it's tough to compete with that. So on an emotional level, but does pay a lot of money. So like 1.4, I think, this year or something like that. I don't know, something ridiculous.
By the way, so that what I was referencing, the movie is called Doctor Sleep, and it is a sequel to The Shining. And Stephen King says it will blow your mind.
Yeah, but he also hated The Shining, so.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's going to be about the money at this point. Does he really
Stanley
care?
Kubrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate that movie. It's terrible. It's a terrible job. It's like one of the greatest horror movies of all time.
Terrible.
All right, so
Terrible.
all right, so let's finish this up. We talked golf. We talked basketball, but we have to get into
The state of the Yankees.
Whoa. Who's knocking? Is that you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Gotcha. All right. So, state of the Yankees. Giancarlo Stanton back in full mid-season form. 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts.
Like he never missed a beat.
He looks so incredibly off balance. He almost fell over on one of his strikeouts. Like he took a swing, missed it by a foot, and then almost fell over.
At this point, I would do nothing but throw sliders to that guy.
Well, you shouldn't. I mean, the unfortunate thing is, if you do that, he's going to eventually start squaring him up because that's what he's going to be looking for. But still, it was bad.
He can't. He's not a. It's good.
And Snell is going to be throwing the changeup away and slider in, and he's going to look like he's
I'm
going to spin
very
himself
glad
into
the
the ground.
Yankees took the first 2 of this series because they're not. I don't see them beating Snell tonight. And with Stanton in this lineup, I'm very, very, very scared. I just look. I don't hate Giancarlo Stanton, not the way I disliked A-Rod. They're not similar in really any regard other than what you could deem the end result thing. But I mean, even A-Rod in 2009 had his moment. I don't know if Giancarlo Stanton. Here's the problem though. Giancarlo Stanton, even with A-Rod and all his steroids, Giancarlo Stanton couldn't even sniff A-Rod's talent on his best day. Okay. So,
well, I mean, A-Rod was a good two-way player too. So
Alex Rodriguez especially if he had never gone on steroids, still would have been an unbelievable player with over 500 home runs, would have absolutely been a Hall of Famer, and would have gone down as one of the greatest players ever.
Instead, he took a bunch of steroids, and now he might not get into the Hall of Fame.
And now, he's not going to get into the Hall of Fame, and he's an absolute asterisk on the game. But from a talent perspective, A-Rod may have actually been the most talented player ever. So the comparisons between the two, to me, are only in terms of the kind of power production that they have, and I just also think these strikeouts and the way that they sort of just flail away at balls. But Stanton is really, really maddening. The other difference, of course, is that you can't hate Stanton because, as far as we know, he's not on steroids. Right. So he's not hateable in that sense.
Plus, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, and he is a nice guy, and he seems somewhat articulate, but he is absolutely
somewhat articulate.
I don't know. It depends on what interview.
He's a nice guy. He's a good guy.
He's fine.
Yeah.
But he's not likable in the sense that he's so easy to get out, and there's such an easy and fast formula to get him out of the batter's box. And look, we all know against middling to lesser pitchers, he's going to run into a few. He's still going to hit 30 home runs. He's still going to drive in close to 100. That's all going to happen. But in the postseason, when you're facing nothing but good pitching in your starting rotations and in your bullpens, he's useless. Completely and totally useless. And last night, he didn't face any particularly great pitching. It wasn't Snell on the mound. I mean, they had an opener. Stanek was the opener last night.
And then Yarborough.
And Yarborough, who is actually a decent reliever. But
what did they call him? The Bulp? The Bulp guy? But I don't know what it was called. I don't know what they were calling him.
Bottom line is, this was not Verlander. This was not Garrett Cole. This was not Chris Sale. Okay? This was not Trevor Bauer. This wasn't Corey Kluber. These aren't name brand pitchers he was going against last night. So imagine what's going to happen in October when he's going to have to face good pitching in the middle of this lineup. He's going to be a rally killer every time.
I don't know if they're going to put him in the middle of the lineup. Did you see last night? What did he bat, like 6 or 7?
I would bat him eighth. I really would.
That's kind of I don't know about 8th. I think 7th would be a good spot. Because 8th is...
He should not be batting above Edwin Encarnacion. Sorry. No way.
Well, no. I mean, Edwin Encarnacion has his own issues, too. I mean, he strikes out a lot. And
he does not strike out as much, though. If you actually look at his strikeout numbers, they're not nearly as bad.
They're just not... It's not good. I mean...
No. He's not...
And he's nowhere near the player he was. I mean, he is he kind of getting a little chunky...
Yeah, but he can. I mean,
Edward Encarnacion is getting a little chunky in the middle.
Yeah, second game as a Yankee, he already goes deep.
Yeah.
I mean, I have. So look, as far as that trade goes, yeah, and he did walk the pair last night, which was cool. The trade in and of itself is fine, but I do worry about in the postseason again that this team is taking on a very similar identity to the one that it took on last year, which is very strikeout heavy.
But
and this team has prided itself. This team has been so likable in this first third of the year because. Hold it in. Let me get to my point. This team has been so likable in this first third of the year because of guys like your boy DJ LeMahieu, who, by the way, has been one of the best signings the Yankees have had in years. Gio Urshela, who's just nothing but clutch, and every time you expect Gio Urshela to come down to earth, he kind of doesn't come down to earth. Is that who I think it is?
It's Isla.
Hi, Isla.
What's up, honey?
Let's get a word from Isla.
No, she just wanted to come and tell me that she was going to get dressed.
Oh, okay,
for her
fair
day.
Enough.
She's getting out of the jammies finally.
But then, you've had, and even guys like Quint Frazier, who is not exactly a strikeout machine and who does make contact. Mm-hmm. I mean, so the Yankees have had this really, and Glaber, the Yankees have had this kind of identity in the first third of the year where they're a contact team. And how many, I joked the other night with the Yankee text group that, remember when they put 5 runs up with 2 outs in that inning. Guy after guy just kept coming up and getting hits after hits after hit. And I was like, they have gotten more clutch hits in this half inning than they did all last year. Now, yes, of course, that was a joke.
A little bit of but it's not
it was
that far off.
Exaggeration. But the point is, that's a microcosm for the way the Yankees have been playing this year. They're a contact team. They put the ball in play. They get clutch hits with 2 outs. Now you're reintroducing Stanton, and you bring in a guy like Encarnacion. The team is starting. Cashman has this severe. Oh, I can't use the phrase that I want to use. Cashman likes home run hitting teams. Okay, he likes teams that can hit the ball out of the ballpark because he, like a lot of other guys who are often free agents brought into Yankee Stadium, get obsessed with that right field porch, and it's all they can think about. But look at the last few years of champions. They're not home run hitting teams. Do they have guys who can't hit home runs? Yes. Last year, the Boston Red Sox had plenty of power on their team, but that is not how they won the World Series last year. They did not bludgeon you to death with home runs. The Red Sox bludgeoned you to death with a quality pitching staff and a bend but don't break bullpen, and more importantly, clutch hitting.
And their bend don't break bullpen was much more just shut down in the playoffs.
Right, it really was. Yeah. I mean, with Eovaldi out there and Brazier pitched well. I mean, look, the Red Sox had everything worked out last year for the Red Sox. They just had one of those.
And that needs to happen.
Right, and it does need to happen. But the Yankees, I'm telling you right now, I'm very concerned about this Houston series. I could see them getting their what's handed to them against Houston.
Speaking of what's, this is something that we might have to take a poll on. We are considering getting rid of
taking the shackles off the
swear ban, of like, because we were trying to be much more PC. We were talking about possibly lifting that ban and letting the Bryman speak freely.
Taking the shackles off.
I would like to know what other people think. Would they like to hear the Bryman speak freely, or would people like Damien at home have to possibly mute and listen to in the privacy of his own bathroom because his son will be going around?
If he's sitting there watching with Xander, I don't want him to have to be like, "Oh, Xander, earmuffs, kid. Sorry."
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe right before you go on a tirade, you say earmuffs, and then that'll be the key. And then boom, you put it over. Then if your kids are in the air, earmuffs, and then you put it over, and that'll be a whole thing. And then you can just go crazy. And And then, I mean, but you have to say earmuffs for how long?
If you're, yeah.
Because you can't really, because
right. I mean,
you got to give an audio cue for the people that are having, I mean, or a visual cue, I guess, or something, like.
Right.
So what do we do? Do we earmuffs? I mean, Damien he just posted this.
Holy bleep.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'm not.
I don't know if that means he's excited about the possibility or if he just, is just.
Yeah. Yeah. So and Damien also pointed out in this, and you kind of touched on it by saying Evaldi, but he said the bend don't break bullpen was actually mostly their starters being used in non-starting roles.
It was. Yes. It definitely was.
Evaldi.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and that was all Cora, by the way. That was what made Cora so great.
Evaldi and Porcello both were shut down. Like they did a great job.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I would like to know what people think. Is that something that they would like to hear? Do they think let my people go? Let him speak.
All right. We've got 2 votes.
So I don't know. I don't know if Damien is saying that we should.
Yeah, I don't know what Damien is saying.
Holy bleep, or should we? Is it earmuffs is that a good signal? Should we say earmuffs, and then it's always just, and then we'll let you know. Okay, I'm done. You can just when you're on preface, I'm done.
Or if you have another safe word
to finish, like pineapple.
Right. What's my safety word here? Yeah. Anyway, so getting back, where were we? We were talking about. Well, yeah. So I mean, this lineup though, as good. My son is in daycare. Release the Kraken. Nice. This lineup though, again, is going to scare me in October, and not in a. I mean, they're deep. There's no holes in the well. Stanton's a hole in the lineup, but in theory, especially when Judge comes back, 1 through 9, that's a tough road to hoe. But the problem is it is a very strikeout heavy lineup. And in the postseason, I'm just very, very concerned. They need to do as best they can to break those strikeout guys up because you don't want those guys back to back. But at the same time, I don't know how some of them aren't going to be back to back. Judge, Stanton, Encarnacion could all theoretically be back to back. Not likely because Sanchez probably bat fourth, but you're still gonna have, unless, like you said, unless they're willing to move Stanton down to like 7, and then you can, but Voit is going to strike out in the playoffs.
Not as much, but yeah.
Yeah, but he's, you know what though? I don't look at Voit as, by the way, Voit is leading the American League in first base balloting for the All-Star game. I think
obviously they're not taking defense into consideration.
They are not taking defense into consideration. And I think I think Major League Baseball is happy about it because he's made it very clear that
he is not going to be winning a platinum glove anytime soon.
No, but I think that Major League Baseball is excited because they want him in the home run derby. So I think
I don't know how exciting that'd be, but whatever.
Oh, come on. I'd like to see him hit some country long balls in Cleveland.
I don't know. He just doesn't seem like that kind of guy. Like, I don't know. He's not going to be fun. Like,
he's already said
Judge.
He wants to do it.
I know, but he doesn't seem like that kind of guy. He's not going to put up the show like Judge does.
Well, no,
or like
you know what?
Hamilton.
No, he's gonna tire after the first round. Like, watch. He'll have a monster first round.
He gets tired walking up to the plate.
Yeah, he'll be huffing and puffing.
I was going to say about this whole issue that they're having come up, which is the potential of strikeout. Having these guys like DJ LeMahieu, I think that is something that is kind of sprinkling down the lineup. Like they're seeing this guy come in. He is leading the league in average with runners in scoring position.
He's awesome.
He's leading the league because he knows.
Can we extend him now for like? I know he signed a 2-year deal.
Put the ball in play. Hit the ball hard and let the defense try and make the play on you. And that's what he does, and that he does it so well, and he's such a good hitter. Really enjoy watching him. And then it's kind of trickling down to people like Glaber, who's not trying to unload every single time. And even yesterday, Gary Sanchez comes up. They have the shift on. And what does he do? Punches it right in between second and first. And yet he gets a nice and knocks in a run or two during that. I think it was a 2-run single that he got. And it was I
think it was just a one
run. So
I think they were up 3-2 and then I think they went up 4-2.
And it was just it's such a nice thing to see. Like just punching it that way. And I think that is part of what's going on here. Like they're seeing what what to do. Now, you're never going to get that really from Giancarlo Stanton. That's just, I don't think it's in his game to be that kind of a contact guy. But I think people like Sanchez, who has the hand-eye coordination to be able to do that. I think Glaber, who has the hand-eye coordination to be able to do that. DJ, obviously, Urshela, you can kind of trickle down. Even Luke Voigt, I think he can do that. He has shown that he can hit to the opposite field pretty well. And not only hit to the opposite field for like power, but also just, yesterday he had a kind of a oopsie.
But when you're that strong,
oopsie bloop that went into the right field.
You can hit those base hits when you've got that kind of power.
So you have that available to you. Now Aaron Hicks, he's been kind of horrible, but Didi Gregorius, Didi's come back and he's in a hit machine. He's batting like I think over 400 right now. So if you can. This team is it's built a little different, and I think it all trickles down from DJ LeMahieu. And I think that signing not only was huge just for the fact that you have a guy who's just going to put the ball in play and be an awesome defender. I think that it's trickling down to the rest of the team being like, oh, he's leading the league in average of runners in scoring position because he just gets hits. Like he doesn't have to put the ball in the stands, and he's getting RBIs and he's scoring runs and and he's just an overall good player.
He better be at the All-Star game.
So where are they going to play him? Which position?
I don't know. Well, I think he's actually second or third, and I want to actually say he's in the voting at shortstop, but he's either second or third. I don't know if he's at third or at second. Third or at short for voting. But,
although I'm surprised that Glaber's not ahead of him at second.
But I think he's at second and third. I think Glaber's in second.
Yeah. At second? Second.
No, at short actually. So maybe
really?
LeMahieu's at third. I think actually, if I'm not mistaken, Glaber might be in second place at short, and LeMahieu might be in second or third at third or something like that.
Yeah, it's weird. All right. Yeah,
but I really hope Cora makes sure that he's on the team because he absolutely deserves to be there.
Hell yeah.
I can't think of a more valuable Yankee this year. I really can't.
No. That's why I wanted him. I love the guy. I've loved the guy for years.
That was a great call.
That really was. Guy for years. I've always, enjoyed him batting around 300, getting about 200 hits every year, and he was doing it at Coors. But I didn't think it really affected him because he wasn't hitting 40 home runs.
Yeah, no, I never thought that would be an issue.
He was getting 200 base hits. That's a different situation.
I'll tell you, man. I really wish they had signed him for 3 years. But you know what? If he has a good 2 years and he's comfortable here, he'll come back.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you be comfortable? Especially if they go deep into the playoffs a couple of years in a row.
Yeah.
That would be huge. So as of right now, the Yankees are going to
It's a good start to the homestand. They're 2-0 on the homestand.
And they're going to be playing the Astros. They're obviously playing the Rays tonight. And then they got 4 games versus the Astros, which the Astros always play them tough. Verlander seems to always have the Yankees number. And on top of that, you got, they just rip everybody on the Yankees. It's not like it starts in the first inning and goes all the way through. There's always 1 or 2 innings. The Astros just come out and put on a hit parade. And, it seems like one of these big guys, one of these big bats that they have, just knocks a 2 or 3 run home run, and it just puts the Yankees out of it. And then the Yankees come back and score 1 or 2 more runs, and then the next inning, the Astros come on and put a couple more runs, and then the game's just over. And I'm hoping that doesn't happen this weekend because it is it's got to stop.
You if you're a Yankee fan, you got to hope for a split.
2-2. Yes.
You got to hope for that split.
Sweep the Rays, and then go 2-2.
Yeah, that's really your best.
I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Blake Snell.
That's really your best bet. By the way, the Red Sox and the Twins went 17 innings last night. Twins won in 17.
That stinks for the Red Sox.
4-3. That's tough. It always hurts you for the next game too. Just because you not only have you taken the L, but then your bullpen's probably shot.
Yeah. Well, on top of that, they'll probably. Usually. The
Twins bullpen's probably shot too.
Yeah, the team that loses, they might come back and score a crap load of runs tonight just because they're exhausted and come out and start scoring runs. But I don't know.
Should we talk quickly about, because I know we were talking about this before we went on about. Well, we talked a little bit when we went on too about Clint Frazier.
Oh yes, we should, because Clint Frazier went on and real quick he got demoted, and as soon as he got demoted, I think it was happening even before that he got demoted, he started scrubbing his account of all Yankee-related stuff. And I was like, dude, really? Like, he's got so many feelings. Like, he came out, like, we said a couple weeks ago how he had a bad day in the outfield. He was playing poorly at bat. Wouldn't talk to the media. And it's like, come on, guy. Like, really? And then he came out a little bit later and said, just let me be me. It's like, okay, that's fine. Be you. But then, he gets demoted and then he starts scrubbing his account. Like, how? This guy is emotional roller coaster. New York is not the place to be if you were an emotional roller coaster. You need to be playing in like Toronto.
I cannot tell you how completely ironic it is that he is emotional, and there's one reason why. He's a cat owner. And let me tell you something, man.
He's emotional. The cats are so emotional.
Cats are the most emotionless a-hole animals on the planet. Cats, let me put it to you this way. If your cat was 4 times its size, it would kill you. It would eat you. The only reason cats tolerate us is because they're smaller than us. So they play the numbers game. This guy is 4, 5, 6 times my size. I'll play nice in the sandbox because he'll feed me and pet me when I want to be pet, and that's it. But if those things were 5 times bigger than they are, we would not exist. Because they'd be mountain lions.
We'd be their pets.
Cats, we would be their pets.
Batting us around.
Yeah,
although, as long as we had laser pointers, I think we'd be all right.
A cat owner has so many feelings. If he was really big into dogs and there were dogs all over his Instagram account, little puppies climbing on him,
he'd be more relaxed if he had dogs. He'd be more relaxed.
But he's a cat owner. This dude should be hardened.
He would be more relaxed if he had a dog. Because the dog, he'd come home and the dog would be happy to see him. He'd be like, ee, and he'd be like, oh yeah, I got a dog. That's awesome. But then he's got cats, so he comes home, he's all angry, and then they're all angry because he's just existing. So it just makes him even angrier. It's
so weird. People oftentimes too will
probably came home and there was a bunch of cat vomit all over the floor, not using the litter box, and he was probably all mad.
Yeah,
I'm scrubbing my account.
Whereas I'm like these damn cats, and I walk home into puke. I'm like, God,
earmuffs.
The cat.
Earmuffs.
Lele, I just how does a guy with a cat have so many feelings?
I think that's what it is. I think it's because he has cats. I think if he was a dog owner, he would be like, oh, I have a dog. There's not that many bad things in the world. Look at this thing. This thing's so happy to see me all the time. He would come home and he'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna embrace this and be like, you know what? I'm going down. I'm going down to the minors, and I'm going to fight my way back up. See you soon, guys. Because I have a dog.
What bothered me is that he handled right after the game when he found out he was being demoted. He
was passive aggressive like a cat.
No, he handled it well. He was like, look, it's a tough pill to swallow, but I'll go down and take it. He did a good job in the post game after. But then he does something childish like scrubbing his account of Yankee references. Come on, dude. And yes, he is my favorite player, and I want to be able to back this guy. But he's making it hard. And he's going to get traded for Mad Bum or somebody else in a week or two. Or, well, maybe longer. I mean, that may go up to the deadline. We'll see. But he's not going to be around for although buyer beware if you're a team trying to trade for him, because you're getting a guy with a lot of feelings. So many emotions wrapped up in here. He's in a glass case of emotion, and you better be prepared to deal with that. And the cat. You got to get the cat, too. It's like when the Dolphins drafted Ted Ginn and they got the whole family. When you make a trade for Clint Frazier, you're getting him and that damn cat. The cat and the Instagram, Twitter cat feed are coming with you. So if you're a Giants fan and you don't want to see Twitter, your Instagram feed filled with cats, well, maybe don't trade for this guy.
Good stuff.
So frustrating because I love the guy. I do. I really look at him and I say, this is an everyday player with perennial all-star written all over him. Yes, he definitely has some defensive flaws that I think can be improved. Probably can't. I don't know. He'll never be a Gold Glove winner. But can he get better and be maybe an average outfielder? Yes, I think he could. And I think he should be in left field, not in right field. But at the same time, the guy can hit. The guy can hit the cover off the ball. He's 24, 25. He's still learning all that. He's clearly shown he can hit at this level and in the cauldron of the American League East.
He's got the emotional fortitude of a tween.
But he does. Right, but he does. and I swear he's getting by on talent alone right now. And maybe someday when he gets a couple of years older, he'll start to focus a little better.
And Clint, if you keep going out there and scrubbing your account, your favorite fan is going to have to do this to you. You remember that stuff?
Yes.
Remember back when we do the blind man's block party?
I haven't blocked people in a while.
I know.
It's been a little. I do it, but I don't really announce it as much anymore. I mean, a little, but it's not. It's certainly not as crazy.
Hashtag blocked.
Yeah, it was fun. The Brian Man's block party was fun. I mean, it still exists. It's still a thing. It's not as rampant as it was at one point. But yeah, it's frustrating. This whole thing is frustrating. But I do listen. In his defense, the one thing in his defense I will say though. I do sympathize with him for sure. I mean, it's been a tough year for him on a number of levels. He did come back from concussion. He has been bounced around between the majors and the minors a lot. And he's a young guy. I mean, there are a number of things here that are not surprising in terms of his reaction. I can't say that I blame him for being upset. And he's right. So he's got that ginger spice in him. You know, he's a little salty. But I still love the guy. I still hope he has a long-term future with the Yankees, but I highly doubt it. He is absolutely on the block.
But no matter what,
no doubt about it.
No matter what, when he is traded for Mad Bum or somebody else,
Mad Max,
Brian Man's heart will go on.
It will. Well, listen, you know what'll happen though if he gets traded for Mad Bum. You know, I mean, I'll be okay. My heart will immediately go on and jump right on to the guy that traded him before.
You'll be.
I will, because I'll be like, here comes my boy. I pulled my Giants Mad Bum jersey out of the closet the other day. I put it on the bed and I sent the picture to the guys and I'm like, get ready.
That would be awesome.
Get ready. But awesome. I don't know if that's going to happen because I actually heard the Twins are really in on Mad Bum, so we'll see.
Sure they are.
They should be. The Twins should be completely in go-for-it mode right now. They absolutely should be.
All right, that's pretty much it for the end of the show. Let us know what you think. Should we take the leash off the Brian Man? Should we have him? Do we use a safe word? Do we say what's safe word? Earmuffs, and then he can just go rampant for up to a minute. We could even put a countdown on. We can put a countdown on the clock, so like he has like a minute to just go boom every show if he wants. He's got a minute.
Be good for me. Very cathartic. Can I try it now or no?
Probably not. But we could do something because I don't have a countdown. I mean, I guess I would have to get like some sort of clock that I could put up on the screen, and then you could just be like going bananas, straight up crazy town. Yeah, just go.
Say fudge. Only I didn't say fudge.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you have to let us know. Should we let him off the leash? Should we release the Kraken as Damien said?
I mean,
as Clint says, let my people go, let him speak. Should we do that?
Go. I love it.
So let us know what you guys think. If we should do it, or should we just stay contained in a little bit of a bubble? And
you out of your shell a little bit too. You could drop a few bombs here and there. It'd be great.
I might. Occasionally. I mean, I think I've swore like twice on the show in
it'll rub
3 or
off
4 years how we've been doing this.
By the way, Brian, you know how you had that feeling about the Red Sox last year? I've got it about the Yankees this year. I think it might be the year I wanted to get that one. Yeah, that's nice. I don't believe you. I'm not there. I have that feeling about Houston this year.
So thank you guys for listening, watching, however you took this in. We really appreciate it. We appreciate the comment, Damien. But Brian says he doesn't believe you.
It's not. I mean, look. I do think there's. I think it's there, but I think Houston's. I think it looks like Houston's year again. I feel like Houston is in that like they're going to win one, lose one, and then the Red Sox kept it warm for them for a year, and then they're going to win again.
So that's one of my favorite gifts of all time. Is whenever somebody posts something on Facebook, or like how you post stuff, and then every once in a while you get these people that troll and just come in. Oh, you can get a video here. Blah, blah, blah. I always put that gif. I don't believe you. That's my favorite anchor man.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you.
Light the cigarette.
I just love it. I love it.
Man, the 70s were awesome. Well, we've, as you know, Shane, we have come to the end of this program. To quote the great Tony Stark, part of the journey is the end. So Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time, which will be, well, when are we going to do our next? Are we just not going to do Friday and just do Monday?
We could probably, could we do it Friday morning? I think I'm good Friday morning because my kids aren't going to be around.
Actually, I am not good Friday morning.
What?
I have to go buy my car. I have to, my lease to own is up, and I have to go buy it now.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I got to do all that crap. And they're doing like this safety inspection, and it takes like an hour and a half, and I have to be there at like 7:30.
Yeah, so I don't know. Well, we can talk about it. And if you
We're
click
gonna
the
sort it
subscribe
out.
button, if you click the subscribe button, and you hit that notification bell, you'll be let know when we go live. And then you can watch the video. Even if you don't catch it live, it'll pop up on your bar on YouTube, and you just boop.
Chair's creaking.
Just do a little boop. Like you touch Brian nose. I can't really do it. Doop. Boop. And then just
E.T.
all right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Stay classy, play the globe.
We will see you guys soon. When? I don't know. Will we have the earmuffs involved? I don't know. Might be as early as next show. We'll see you. Bye.
All you got to do is say earbuds. You can say. I almost did it. I was